Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listener review. Going to be babbling with some bonus stuff this week. I don't normally do this many, but finally we have a week that's got some cool releases and some actual new releases. Just got done talking about the Cheap Trick one. I'm going to be babbling about Steve Morse's new album right now. And so if you are a fan of this type of stuff, you like this people just chit-chatting about music and sharing their opinions and giving stories and whatnot, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because that's what we do here. If it's not your cup of tea, it's cool. Appreciate you checking it out, but that is what we do here. And today we're talking about, like I already said, Steve Morse. Now for me, I remember when I didn't really know much about Steve Morse. I know of him and I'd heard some stuff here and there. As far as the Dixie Dregs go, I wasn't, like in my younger days, I just wasn't into that. Fortunately, my headspace was more hard rock and stuff. And I remember when Winger came out, and the drummer from Winger there, whose name is escaping me for some reason, even though I know it, and it's driving me insane that I can't think of it off the top of my head. He was in with Dixie Dregs with Steve, and I went and checked it out back then. It wasn't my cup of tea. However, I can't remember if it was before or after that. My years are horrible, like, for me to recall, along with anything else sometimes. But Kansas had an album, Power, and I remember hearing that. I know a lot of people hate that album, Kansas fans hate that album, but I just remember hearing All I Wanted, I think it was. The whole album, I got the whole album, I loved it. I got it on one of those BMG things. I remember it didn't have any credits or anything in it. It was like later that I learned that it was Steve Morse. Those BMG and Columbia House, they a lot of times really skimped out on, material credits. I remember it was just a card, plain old card with nothing on it. But I listened to that album a lot, and I really liked the guitar in it. And it wasn't until later that I learned it was Steve Morse. And then when I found out he joined Deep Purple, and Deep Purple's always been one of my favorite bands since I was just a little youngin'. I liked what he did with those guys, so I went back and I kind of started exploring his solo stuff more. And I actually just watched him on Rick Beato, and I was talking with the guitar player that's in one of the bands that I'm in, and was explaining, I never realized how cool he did stuff, and he was doing some weird picking harmonic thing, which I couldn't even figure out how he was doing. It was just insane. I've never seen a guitar play some of the stuff he was doing. And he has some wrist issues going on, pain in his hands, and his style of playing has changed. He wears a brace a lot of the time when he's playing now. So the fact that he has this album out is amazing, and his wife had just passed away. That's why he quit Deep Purple, is to help take care of his wife, and unfortunately she passed. So the fact that he's out there still making music and expressing himself through that, I think, is amazing. This album, all instrumental, and it's got a very overall feel to it. He plays with a band. He does have guest appearances on here from a few people, but overall, it's got a band feel. He's just a three-piece band, and it has that feel of a band. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. And one thing I really noticed on this is not only is his guitar playing just as good as ever, but the bass playing on here, the bass player's name is Dave LaRue. I'm sure a lot of people know who that is. And I might as well mention Van Romain is playing drums on this one. They just flow very nicely with each other. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of overdubs on here, but I'm sure there is, as always. But it does have that live in the studio type feel. I don't know if it's how they did it, who knows, but it does have that feel, which I love. I think a lot of bands nowadays just lose that, so when a band has that, it's just, for me, it's great. I'm not going to run down every single song on here, but what I will say is that the playing on here, maybe not as fast as some of the stuff in the past, and as wild and intricate as some, but still there in spots and spurts. But over the years, I've actually noticed this even before, especially with Deep Purple as well. His playing style has gotten a lot more melodic, and it's always been melodic. It's always got a unique flavor. It reminds me a lot of Eric Johnson. Actually, Eric Johnson plays on one of the songs on here too. I think they have a video out for that one. I do remember seeing them pop up in my feed, although I didn't get a chance to check it out. But it's a song called Text Us. Eric Johnson plays on that one. And on here, it flows so seamlessly between each other. There's points, I wasn't sure who was playing what parts. That's how similar they sound to me. So I took a couple listens to decipher who was who, but yeah, you can't go wrong. They're both great. So, and there are some other guest appearances on here. Scott Sim actually plays bass on March of the Nomads, which is a cool little, you know, he does have that style of playing every now and then. I don't want to say Egyptian feel, but I don't know how else to explain it. It's got that cool little feel to it anyway. Also, Icebreaker's got a cool, funky little different take on it. Of course, the bass playing on that one's just insane. It's like one of the highlights of the album for me because I love playing bass. Bass is like my favorite instruments to play. So when I hear like bass player just to get a chance to shine on a guitar player's album, it's not too often that you really hear that. So I don't know. I just thought it sounded really cool like that. And also, especially on, I'm going to say, too many parts. No, clever, clever, clever. There's a lot of harmonic bass playing, like taps and stuff going on, slaps and stuff going on. So that one was also cool for the bass playing aspect of it. So just a little shout out to the bass playing. And then we have Triangulation, which is the title track. It's got John Petrucci on it, and that's where they both kind of really just go at it. That's where Steve's playing just gets a little bit more intricate. And I don't know if it's to keep up with John, because John's just like lightning fast, but and very clean playing. That's one thing Steve's always had, very clean. John Petrucci's playing is very clean. So I don't know, I just always like that. And then we have Kevin Morse on Taken by an Angel, the guest appearance on that one, also a really cool song. So anyway, it's just a quick little run through. I didn't want to like take too much time because I'm doing more reviews than I normally do this week, but I was going to pass on doing a review on this one, but I liked it so much, I just figured I'd have a good shout out, because I don't give a lot of shout out to these instrumental albums very much, and just stuff like that. It's not something I normally do on here, but you know, what the heck, I've got to shake up the what do we do every now and then and throw something out there that's new and interesting. And I really like this one. It was really cool to see. Glad to hear he's out there still doing stuff, and I hope he just keeps going. I know he's had, like I mentioned, some problems with his hands, so hopefully he can keep playing and enjoying it himself. So until he does come up with something else, you know, we'll see ya.